My fellow citizens of D8 countries, Assalamu alaikum. It gladdens my heart to give this short address to update you on the progress we've made in our march to further concretize the D8 organization's trade cooperation. As you are all aware, trade is the cornerstone of our economic cooperation agenda since we established the D8 organization. Just a few days ago, the third meeting of the D8 Trade Ministers' Council, along with the seventh session of the Supervisory Committee of the D8 Preferential Trade Agreement, otherwise known as the D8 PTA, took place in Dhaka, Bangladesh on the 4th and 5th of March 2024 respectively. The Ministry of Commerce of Bangladesh hosted those meetings under the theme of inclusive trade for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. At the meeting, which was chaired by the State Minister of Commerce of the Ministry of Commerce of Bangladesh, Mr. Ahsanul Islam Titu, the trade ministers took far-reaching decisions on measures to advance our trade cooperation and increase the level of intra-trade in D8 countries. Prominent among those decisions was the adoption of two important documents to the D8 PTA. The first document is the Protocol of the Dispute Settlement Mechanism, otherwise known as the DSM, while the second one is a paper on Trade Facilitation Strategy, also known as the TFS. These two additional trade instruments are crucial to support the effective implementation of the D8 Preferential Trade Agreement. Equally significant was the Ministers' in-principle decision agreed to review the offer list of the PTA with a view to expanding it. The ministers also tasked the D8 Secretariat to commence a study on the D8 PTA expansion as a practical step to strengthen it and make it more attractive and beneficial to our people. To further enhance the implementation of the PTA and boost the volume of the inter-trade in our countries, the meeting agreed to establish a database on non-tariff barriers and work program for the removal of the non-tariff barriers and para-tariff barriers to trade. To this end, the ministers underscored the importance of capacity building and training of our trade and custom officials and encouraged member states to give it the attention it deserves for the effective implementation of the D8 PTA. Finally, one of the highlights of the seventh session of the Supervisory Committee of the D8 PTA was the unanimous election of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as the chair of the Supervisory Committee of the D8 PTA for the period 2024 to 2026, thus making Nigeria the host of the 8th session of the Supervisory Committee of the D8 PTA in September 2024. In the same vein, the Arab Republic of Egypt, which takes up the mantle of the D8 presidency this year, will host the fourth session of the D8 Trade Ministers' Council during the period of its presidency. In conclusion, I want to use this opportunity to once again express our utmost gratitude to all our member states for the cooperation and support for the D8 organization over the years. No doubt, the operationalization and the organization-wide implementation of the D8 PTA will be a catalyst for the rapid increase in our inter-trade numbers to reach 10% of the D8 total trade value by 2030 to meet the objectives set by the D8 roadmap for 2020-2030. I thank you all for listening.